Hey guys, how's it going? It's the Crypto Analyst here. Now, as you guys know, I have partnered with Hyped on Crypto to start making cryptocurrency content with them. They're awesome, and so this is actually an interview that I did with one of their members, Sparks, and we go through and we kind of introduce each other. So I have half of the video on my channel and half of the video on their channel, and so I've edited in almost all of Sparks' content so that you guys can get to know him better, and hopefully I'm able to do this with the rest of the Hyped on Crypto members because I know you guys will love them and really the goal and the mission and the values that they stand for just as much as I love them and all their content. So I'm going to have all of their links in the description below for their website, their Discord, their YouTube channels, really the whole shebang. So without further ado, I hope you guys enjoy the interview.
What was the first speculative coin you got into, an altcoin, if you will?
Yeah, the first altcoin I got into was actually XRP. I remember seeing a lot about it or reading about it, and someone showed it to me. Because for a while, all I really worked with was Bitcoin. But I'm a business major myself, so hearing about how they could change transaction times from 3 to 5 business days to a matter of seconds kind of interests me as a man of business, and so that's what kind of got me intrigued, and I decided to throw some money at it.
Yeah, Ripple was definitely intriguing to me. It was probably in the top few I purchased. I ended up going to Litecoin first, only because my first transaction on Bitcoin, this was back in, I want to say September of 2017. My first transaction with Bitcoin, I ended up eating like $4 or $5 in fees. I was like, man,
Yeah.
like that was expensive. And then I did a transaction in Litecoin. My transaction was from GDAX over to Bittrex. And I remember it was like some minimal amount, something like a few Satoshi amounts of a Litecoin. So it was really, really small. And that would put a lot of belief in Litecoin at the time was immediate transaction fees. At the time, again, I was a novice, so there's still a lot I was learning about cryptocurrency. There's quite a few coins out there that boast really low fees. That was the first coin for me. Yeah, man. I definitely have a similar story to that where I remember hearing about Bitcoin. At that time, I associated cryptocurrency and Bitcoin was just one the same. There wasn't multiple cryptocurrencies. I didn't know anything about blockchain technology, anything about mining. But what I knew was that this coin that I first heard about, and I want to say it was 2013, May 2014. It was a minuscule amount. It was somewhere around like $86. And I read this and it intrigued my mind, intrigued my thought process because this was a store of value that had no asset attached to it. I was like, man, this is $86 and there's no physical allocation of currency to it. Like this is just a digital asset. And that's the first time I heard about it. I think it was 2014. And then fast forward to about February of 2017, someone mentioned something to me in like fleeting conversation about um, Bitcoin Gold. It was a Bitcoin alt, and they said some Bitcoin Gold. I'm like, Bitcoin Gold, is that new? There's 2 Bitcoins now, and they said, follow up to that was like 2. There's a lot of cryptocurrency. I was like, what were you talking about? And I got onto CoinMarketCap and was blown away for 2 reasons. A, the sheer number of cryptocurrencies that were around, and then B, the total market cap was in the billions, and then when I saw Bitcoin price, even at that time at $7,000-8,000, I was like blown away. I was just leveled, and I was like, I remember this when it was at $86. It was crazy. It was enlightening for the growth. It's enlightening to interact with people like you and other people in this niche that have a lot of us share the same roots to this. Is the reason we're such adamant believers in this is because of the fact that we have the foundation of observing this particular product at a time when it was heavily it was viewed with a lot of criticism. There's a lot of skepticism around Bitcoin, and it seems some really negative PR. Like we've seen the Mount Geox, we've seen people losing their assets and losing their currency, and yet still this engine survives. It still pushes on forward. Even right now, we're in a heavy correction. Things are very bearish right now. Even the most adamant bull will say as a whole, 2018 Q1 has been very bearish, and yet people still believe in it. People still understand that there's still incredible feats of blockchain technology is going to do for us, that these smart contracts are going to create and revolutionize things, and that's an incredible part about it. So yeah, that's my take on it, but it's always enlightening to hear other people's stories and backgrounds in it, because we all share similar backgrounds, we all share similar stories that really unify us in believing in this market, and believing in this particular product. Yeah, for sure, man. You're right that we're very much still in the infancy for cryptocurrency. And the thing that gets me most hyped about it is all the use cases coming out. Like, there's so
Yeah.
many new altcoins coming out with very particular use cases that are um, they really meet, like, they answer a lot of questions for us, and they fill a need. And that's what's so exciting about this, because we don't know what is and what isn't going to be possible or tangible. Like, the
Yeah.
ideas are definitely bouncing off the walls, and some people can say these are uh, not practical use cases, or these might be potential money grabs at a emerging market. And I'm there's some merit there, but when you read some of these white papers and look at some of the background and teams they have, some of these have very, very real world application, and solve a very, very real need. So that's what has me most excited about all this as a whole, like being able to utilize some of these coins for their specific use cases. Um,
Yeah.
I
100%.
think if I had to pick one in particular right now, I'm a big fan of Salt. I think like a smart asset lending is going to be a huge um, opportunity for our future generations to be able to
Yeah.
leverage. In the past, if I go to my banking institution, it's strictly fiat that we're looking at, like either securing
Yeah.
a loan on, or looking at like how to make a large asset purchase, and being able to secure my holdings into other forms of value, other stores of value. I think is like amazing. Seeing all the different ways we can grow on that platform is going to be awesome.
Yeah, definitely, man.
Okay, so kind of in the same vein of that question, and I think I kind of answered this myself, is cryptocurrency projects you're excited for. So either upcoming ones or existing ones that have like expanded on their use case. Yeah, for sure, man. You're right with the heavy price fluctuation. That's why it's kind of a interesting question, because with cryptocurrency, who knows, right? Like, things are constantly moving.
Yeah.
With that said, I'm glad you touched on diversification. That's a strong risk management tool. It's something that we encourage all traders to utilize. And don't put all your eggs in one basket. You really got to make
Yeah.
sure you diversify your portfolio and manage your risk. With that said, the only long-term hold I see for myself personally um, is BTC. Bitcoin is, uh,
Yeah.
it's what everything is compared to. When Bitcoin goes down, as a general rule, altcoins, they go down. And when Bitcoin goes on a run, everyone is looking to hedge against Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is a good indicator of market health currently. And now I
Absolutely.
don't think it's the best use case of cryptocurrency anymore. I talked about the first time I got into Bitcoin. I was like astonished by the amount of fees I had to pay to move that particular asset around. But um, it's what everyone hedges on to be successful. Like, everyone's curious, what's Bitcoin trading at, like that. And then we started to get into other altcoins. Okay, Bitcoin is stable around, it's seen really good support levels at a particular run. That's when people start to get a little bit more speculative with their buys when we get into altcoins. But the conversation still begins with what's Bitcoin at. So Bitcoin is probably my long term hold, and only because of the way that it dominates market mentality.
Yeah, I mean, I can't argue with that. I completely agree with that understanding. Bitcoin is something I always make sure I hold a portion of, because it's like you said, it's the leader. It is the head. It's the face of cryptocurrency, and almost nearly, in nearly every case, the altcoins follow it. So, I completely
Yeah.
agree with you there.
All right. So we have a few more questions here, Brandon. Do you day, swing, or long term trade?
For the most part, I try to avoid day trading. Just nothing against it personally, but I find myself, I guess, better at long-term holding or swing trading. Again, I wish I knew more about day trading because, I'd love to be able to utilize it. But I try to stick to my strengths, which is more so on the side of swing trading and long-term holding.
Okay. I'm a little bit similar. So I'm a big advocate of following Lord Ray, and he does some technical analysis on the Hyped on Crypto YouTube. If you guys haven't followed that, I strongly encourage you to check out Lord Ray. He'll answer any coin question you have and really get into the details on why a coin is performing a certain way, and you'll really interpret some patterns that you have there. So with that said, I tend to swing trade most regularly, looking at where my support levels are, interpreting possible price movements. No matter what I do, I make sure that I'm always, utilizing my stop loss feature. So that's a big one for me, regardless of the type of, even if you're a hodler, if you're like, Litecoin is going to moonshot to, whatever you think the capacity is going to be. I've heard some outrageous ones like, 800-900, which I think we can get up to, but not overnight. But no matter
Yeah.
how you trade, I think I'm a big advocate on risk management, both in diversifying your portfolio and utilizing features that will allow you to lessen the impact on your portfolio. So utilizing your stop losses. So I personally swing trade on small margins, looking for areas of opportunity, and then leveraging that areas of opportunity with available capital. But I always aim for small price movements. Personally,
Yeah.
that's just what I do. Yeah, for sure, man. I think TradingView is by far the most utilized platform for technical analysis and really looking at pattern interpretation. For those of you who don't utilize TradingView, you go over to hypedoncrypto.com shop and then education. We have links to TradingView, Coinigy, and some of the other tools we utilize over there. TradingView offers free platforms, so does Coinigy. So you guys can check out some of the different tools that people use and tools we use. And we just put in a new review platform, so you can review these products and comments back on there. So if you see for a long time, I used TradingView in the white background, and my eyes were constantly suffering. And it wasn't until probably like 2 or 3 weeks in that someone told me I could switch over to dark theme. So why that's just a quality of life improvement of being able to interact with the community and get feedback from what works on different platforms. It's probably the biggest advantage to being in a community like this is being able to interact with each other. And then I'm a big miner myself, so I'm big into mining, and I like that aspect of cryptocurrency. So I'm constantly using Excel to basically chart my hash rates, look at what ROI is for myself, and just keep track and organize of different data sets and outgoing expenses. So those are what I tend to gravitate towards when it comes to tools and what to utilize to make myself more effective.